have arrived at Gunwharf Quay, and we are going to go on an adventure to the Mary Rose. Come with us. So to make it down to the Mary Rose and HMS Victory, we're parked in Gunwharf Quays, and now we're walking out of Gunwharf Quays and down to the main road down here through this tunnel, and then I'll show you where we're going when we get a little bit closer. So you come out of Gunwharf Quay, you turn left, you walk past obviously the bus station that you can see over here, and we're walking down towards Portsmouth Historic Dockyard. You can see that straight in front, and you can see obviously a vessel just over there. I'm wearing a microphone today because it is quite windy, so hopefully you can hear me quite clearly. Right, let's make our way. So it's clearly the place to be today, very busy. Now we actually bought tickets last night online. We were looking at obviously 2 adults, 2 children, and that came to about £135. But what we opted to do was get the annual pass, which was £145. So now we can come and go as we please all year. So as you come through, obviously it's busier than it was the last time we came down here. It's Easter holidays, so a bit more security checking as you go through. Okay, so we're through security all the way in. Now, interestingly, when we bought the tickets, it gave us an allotted time. Now, an allotted time when you have obviously an annual pass is a little bit silly, and she confirmed we can turn up whenever we want, as frequently as we want, and simply walk in, have a look round. So we're off now. So we're going to have a look and see what we can find. Now, we noticed this last time. You can actually pay to drive one of these vessels, which we haven't done, but we might do later on today. So it looks like it's a big old gift shop here. We did have a look around in there last time. There's some very nice things in there, but a lot of it is very, very expensive. All the things I want are very expensive, often the way, isn't it? So let's make our way down to HMS Victory and to the Mary Rose exhibit as well. Henry VIII, obviously we have very close connections to Hampton Court Palace, which was the retreat that Henry took away from Cardinal Wolsey. So I do love a bit of Henry VIII. Oh, so these are all creatures and things that you find under the sea. See a starfish, octopus maybe, sea urchins. That's a scary fish, isn't it, Joseph?
Yeah. You try that squid is like. You should remember that squid is upside down in that picture. It looks like a chubby human.
It does look like a chubby human. So Charlotte did a little quiz walking around this exhibition, and now she gets to pick out a little prize, so she can choose what she has. Oh, she's having the keyring. There we are. What do you say, Charlotte? So it looks like there's a little kids interactive section as well, where you can learn how to salute in the mirror, try on different bits of clothing. And ring a bell, apparently. Oh, that's a big old gun. Got the size of that. Bofors gun Mark 1, 1942. Look at these, Joe. Underwater. You feeling brave, Joe? You gonna walk out? Jump up and down, dare you? Look at the size of that model, Charlotte.
It looks like you.
It's bigger than me.
And look how detailed that is. That's amazing. That's so cool. And you can do things like learning Morse code. You can even have a go and try it out as well. So many really cool, interesting things here. It's a big old aircraft carrier as well. Some amazing things in this museum. So the man's explaining that you can push different things and different things will happen. Oh, yeah. Wow.
These ones are good, like they turn their turrets.
Oh, that's a cool one. Oh, I just launched a plane in the air. There goes another one. That's really cool, isn't it? So you've got things on here that obviously the sailors used to entertain themselves. So it was like a homemade game of Monopoly. I suppose when you're out at sea for so long. What's that say? Drunk in charge of a purse's Red Devil, fine £50. It's really well done. And there's even a section here where you can write messages, so share your memories of the Navy with us, and people have done so. And then a few of them are displayed. So my husband, my grandfather, some real personal history. Watching my 98-year-old mother read the account of the sinking of the Windsor Castle during World War II. She was aboard the ship with a group of friends. Wow. That's another big old gun. Look at the artillery shell that are going in that. Wow, that'll do some damage, that's for sure. Charlotte, look at the cannon. Can you see the cannon? It is real. And that's what we're here to see, HMS Victory. Well, I don't know what he did wrong, but he's paying the price for it, that's for sure. There are some really quite amazing exhibitions in this place. And look at the detail of this. This is called The Navy Ashore. That's so pretty. And then if you make your way through the exhibition, you then come through to the gift shop at the very end. You see very nautical themed. So you can get notebooks, £200. So I should probably say that with less surprise. Oh, they're made from the HMS Victory wood. That's why it's so expensive. It's all very nice too. And then some rum, pirate pale ale, and some figurines. Royal Navy Rose. Poppy art. So they're carrying out obviously repairs on HMS Victory. So you can't see the ship at the moment, apart from the front, obviously. And the 7-year-old daughter walking in towards it. And the rest of it is undercover. So we'll just go and investigate to see what we can actually get a look at, get up close and personal with, and then look at the size of that aircraft carrier straight out in front of me. That is a monster of a vessel. Absolutely huge. Okay, let's go and make our way onto HMS Victory. Victory live entrance is straight in front of us. So obviously with the renovation work going on, they've actually set up this exhibition here. So we're going to see quite a unique aspect. And apparently also you can see here they're taking parts of the vessel apart, which hasn't happened for over 100 years. So although it's kind of annoying that you get here and you can't see it from the outside, we're going to see an absolutely unique perspective, which wouldn't have happened again in my lifetime. So let's have a look. And Charlotte's wearing a hard hat. I'm just going to take part and help out. So you can actually see where they've taken the outer shell off the ship. It's amazing. Look at that. See, nobody has seen this for over 100 years. And here we are just walking through casually. You can see where the cannons are located. This is sensational. So you can kind of see the work they're doing, and it's literally been stripped back to the bare bones, like the scaffolding of the ship itself, which is amazing to see. So obviously it's a wooden ship, and obviously a wooden ship in water, which is so old, you get problems. And one of those problems is apparently the Death Watch beetle burrowing through Victory's timbers.
My name is Jared and I'm a shipwright, so I'm working on HMS Victory, that beautiful ship behind you. So for the last couple of years we've been removing the planking. The reason why we've been removing the planking is because it's effectively, a lot of it had turned into compost. The reason being for it turning into compost is due to the methods that they used to glue the planks together. So a lot of the plank that we removed came from the 1980s, 2000s, so not long at all, not long ago. What they've done to achieve the thickness of a plank, let's say the thickness can range between 6 inches to a foot, depending where you are on the ship. So to achieve that thickness, because unfortunately we don't have trees that are this big anymore that we can just put on the ship's side, they had to laminate them together. So you can see this plank sample here, it's made up of 3 laminations. There's your glue joins here. Unfortunately, a lot of their glue joins failed. So you see these sort of circles here, they actually mirror each other, and that's because they were meant to be glued together. And that means that only these parts were actually touching when they glued together.
Oh wow.
That's also down to the fastenings that they use. So when they got their first laminate, they'd put it onto the ship's side, they'd put their resorcinol glue on it, which is a very good glue, used properly. Then get their next lamination, they'd screw that to the one before, and they'd keep doing that until they achieve their desired thickness. But because of this, and the screws they used, they created a void. The void would look something like this, and that would allow water to get inside. Once water was stuck inside, it would then cause rot, it would cause the fungal decay to start kicking in. On this side, starboard side, we've also got the sun. It starts over there, sort of ends up over here. We've also got the prevailing wind, the rain as well. This side took an absolute battering, and it was only the outer laminate, which was made of teak, that was solid. Everything behind was like this. It was either compost or going on its way to be compost.
Yeah.
So we removed all that planking, and we have these frames, which are the vertical pieces of timber you can see there. So they're kind of like the ribs of the ship. And then they revealed the ribs, or the frames. And a lot of them, again, had rotted away because of the planking. So we've got colour coding, we've got red, which means replacing, so it's kind of written on the top so you might be able to see it. We've got red, which means to replace, orange, which means to repair in the workshops. It's a complicated repair. Yellow means to repair on the job, because it's only a small repair. And green means it's good to stay. So once we've done these repairs in here, we'll start replanking. And we're going to be using a similar method of laminations, because again, we don't have the timber large enough. But that lamination will be done in our workshop. So I'll come along, I'll take my pattern of the plank I need to make. The pattern will go back to our workshop, and on our jig, we can clamp it together using a hydraulic press, large clamps, the correct glue, which is the resorcinol, but we're using it properly, and we'll get a good squeeze out, and we know that we've got a really tight joint on our laminations. The plank will then be brought back across, put onto the ship, and use much bigger fastenings as well to hold it in place versus sort of smaller screws.
That's different.
And then the gaps between the plank, which is what we call a corking gap. So when you put your planks together, You have almost a triangle or wedge-shaped gap at the bottom there where they meet. That will be corked with a traditional material called oakum, which is a plant-based material. So this is made out of plant fibres. It's impregnated with an oil. That keeps it durable. That's driven into the seams using these corking irons, which have been around for hundreds of years. We use the same techniques for hundreds of years. That is driven into every single plank seam, so there'll be miles of plank seams to do, so we need miles of this stuff. And then we get a big hammer. Someone will then hold that, and this will be the final firming. And I'll be hitting this while someone holds that, but maybe on the end of the stick.
So they're brave. They're brave and they trust you.
Exactly. And then that will create a nice watertight joint between the planks, and then we can paint the ship side and pay the seam with a modern base mastic. So you use this stuff for about a third of the seam, and then you use a modern base mastic. Well, we'll be using a modern base mastic to then ensure it's watertight. The reason why we're using a modern base mastic is they expand and contract a lot better than the more traditional materials. So we're kind of fusing like traditional techniques with more modern base science as well. Going on to the sites, we have the University of Southampton working alongside us. We have conservators, archaeologists as well that are always on the site doing all sorts of tests, looking out for death watch beetle, which is another thing that can cause damage to the ship. So here we've got a series of holes there where the beetle lays her eggs and the larvae comes out, eats its way through the timber, comes out the other side, grows wings, and then the cycle continues until you've got irreversible damage. So that sort of leads me on to everything that goes back onto the ship is being treated chemically with a boron-based chemical solution. Boron is a very nasty chemical, that's why we'll be wearing the correct gear for it, but it will do the job of keeping anything at bay, any fungus, and also any death watch beetle as well. All right.
That's brilliant. So out of interest, the work they did in the 1980s that only lasts about 40 years, how long do you think this will last moving forward?
The plan is, without any major rework, 50 years. Should last a lot longer.
It'll outdo me.
Program of maintenance.
Yeah.
So she should last for 75 to 100 years. As long as we keep it watertight, so we can use, because we're using these fastenings here, but the way we're laminating it is slightly differently. If we've got one rotten plank, we can get on a cherry picker, undo the fastenings, and remove the plank.
Yeah.
We haven't then got to, because the way they've done it as well, they overlapped a lot of their laminations, kind of creating a web of laminates. So if you wanted to remove like one line of planking, you've got to remove like 3 above, 3 below, because it all overlaps itself. So we're kind of meant to be doing a foolproof, which I'm sure it will be. It should work. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's fascinating. Thank you so much. Thank you. Me and Joseph made it to the very, very top. So you can see the very top of HMS Victory just over there.
Still very immersive pirate ship.
There we are. So you can see the scale of the work they're having to undertake to bring it back. And like the lovely chap was saying, they did this previously in the 1980s. It's only lasted 40 years. And you can see what they're taking off there. Look. See that, Joe? That's actually what they've taken off. And you can see how badly damaged and rotten it is on the inside. Wow. Oh, that reflection is annoying. Oh, there. And that is why they're having to do it. Otherwise, HMS Victory would have literally just corroded away in front of our eyes. So there you can see the back of the ship. What's the back of a ship called? The bow? Or the stern? I don't know. We don't know. We're not nautical people, obviously. But there's the back of the ship of HMS Victory. It really is a beautiful, beautiful craft. And in its day, it was the fastest ship of the ocean. There you go. So we're walking around outside, coming around the back end, and we're going to try and get inside HMS Victory. Now, I have done this before, but it was a very long time ago. I reckon I was about 10 years old. So that's a good 35 years ago that we actually I came down to the school off to the Isle of Wight. Wow, look at that. Obviously sits in dry dock. But look at the rudder at the back. It's absolutely sensational. So the last time we came here, as I just said, was about 30 odd years ago. I reckon I was about 10 years of age, and I remember sitting over there, probably on different benches, but sitting over there with a corned beef sandwich. The stupid things that stick in your mind. But here we are, queuing to get onto HMS Victory. And there's a Brittany ferry coming into dock on the far side. We'll get a snack in a bit, honey. So we are making our way onto HMS Victory. Right, Joe, mind your head, mate. Crouch down low. There you go. So you've got to crouch down low to get in. Yeah, I can't stand up in here. Let's have a look round. It's very dark. Big old cannon over here. It's probably like a fire bucket, I would assume. So we're up on deck on HMS Victory. I can stand up here, it's lovely. Oh, there you go, look at that. The wheel. So that's where the captain would have been, controlling the vessel. I love this period of history. I really do. HMS Victory is a marvellous, incredible technological thing of the time. Absolutely sensational to have the privilege of getting on board and having a look round. Let's have a look inside. One thing is for certain. You couldn't have been over a certain height to be on here for a very long period of time. And that's why. So I guess this would be like the officers' mess or something like that. Oh, there's a hatch over here. Oh, look. So these partitions actually pull back. So you can actually get up and have a look and see what was happening. Fabulous telescope. So now I guess we're at the very rear of HMS Victory. And that's obviously the scene we were looking at from outside looking in. And now we're inside looking out. It's absolutely iconic and beautiful in here. See, this is where somebody slept. You'll see it. Rocks, because the ship was rock. So they keep you nice and peaceful and nice and level while you try to get some rest. Honestly, I reckon we were about 5'4" back in the day. And the famous Nelson plaque. Here Nelson fell, 21st of October, 1805, where Nelson died. And now we're heading down to the very front of HMS Victory. So here we are, we're going to the very front of HMS Victory. There's the mast going up. And there is HMS Victory. There's her bell. Amazing. Truly stunning and iconic. There you go. And Charlotte has safely navigated the stairs down. Here comes the big guy. So there's some more sleeping quarters here. Not quite as nice as the ones upstairs. So you can see here you've got the crew members' beds, and then you can literally see here that they're sleeping right on top of their cannon. So if you get called to arms, you can respond immediately. So walking through HMS Victory, and also you can notice as you go around all that called the cannonballs. They're all just here for when needed. So it's almost like they're constantly on guard, on action stations. There's even a box of muskets or something, maybe, I don't know. everything was about being ready to attack or being ready to defend. And this is probably how the signal came about to ready for arms. It was someone's job to bang that when they needed to defend themselves. And obviously up above, you've got all the things that you need to load the cannon. Everything just to hand when needed. Well, this is rather nice in here. Obviously this would be where the officers would be located. Much better conditions, obviously for food, dinner, and for planning and navigation. The actual sleeping cabin of Lord Admiral Nelson. He must be very small, and that is where Lord Nelson did his business. And had a shave, but mainly did his business. There you go, and Charlotte making her way down the very tight, narrow staircase with the big guy. You bang your head. So, what appears to be the kitchen, where all the food was produced for all the men on board. I can imagine it was very hot in here. There's the outside of the gigantic oven. It must have been like an absolute furnace in here. Right, now these are clearly slightly less favourable quarters, where the men were literally rammed in like sardines. As you can see, the hammocks are all tightly wrapped together. You probably get more space in the prison cell at the time than you did on board this ship. And bearing in mind that at the time, this was absolutely state of the art. Right, so I think we're on one of the lower decks now, because there's absolutely no ceiling height, as you can see there. Charlotte's okay, though. She can get round to that bucking, can't you? There's plenty of room. You're perfect size to be on this ship.
My journey into this.
Right, let's see what's over there. So these look like, I don't know if they're doctors or little offices where people used to work out of. Obviously a lot happened down here. Had to be a little mini city. Oh, squeeze through that. There's like a little pantry or something. Oh, no, they're bandages, so this is probably more like a hospital.
Pine food.
If I did, I'd never get out again, mate.
I
I'm guessing in here, would be that's the furnace was maybe? Oh wow, look at this over here. I'm literally walking like a crab. And that is a pretty big rope. Lines down over that way as well. So even lower in the vessel, it appears to be this is storage, because obviously they need to carry a lot of food. You can see down there for a lot of men. So I think we're right in the depths of HMS Victory right now. What's that, honey? In a shop? You reckon I can stand up in there?
The back side.
Huh?
There's the neck and back side.
No, I can't stand up. It's too low.
Kind of too low.
Oh, I can stand up here.
The perfect size.
You are the perfect size to be on HMS Victory as Daddy bangs his head. So this is where they kept all the gunpowder a lovely man just told us outside. So it was all stored in here. There's barrels over here as well. And actually, there's a lot of ceiling height in here. It's lovely. This is,
No, we were ceiling yet.
yeah, right under there. That is a low ceiling, isn't it?
Can you get through there?
So we're now making our way underneath HMS Victory. So you can see the straps that keep her in place. Obviously in dry dock. And there you can see her rudder.
It's raining.
Oh well. So we are now underneath HMS Victory.
Mummy is too scared to follow us.
Mummy is far too scared to follow us. In fact, she's there. You wave, Mummy. Karen doesn't like heights. If you watch our videos, you know that. It's technically it's a depth. You carry it, sweetheart. Right, so where are we? Number 2 dock. This is what the chap was saying upstairs when they had to fill it with that. It was almost like horsehair material. To fill the gaps. The rudder of HMS Victory. It's amazing, isn't it, Charlotte? The rudder, late 18th century, the rudder is thought to be the same one she had at the Battle of Trafalgar. Wow, that is amazing. This was potentially at Trafalgar. And this is the way out. So you go up these stairs. I quite like this vignette. So off we go. And we're up and we're out.